is the school pouches. These miraculous phone pouches, they're back in the news again. What's the latest update?
Yeah, so a lot of viewers will remember that this was kind of one of the big stories that came out of the budget last year in October, was that there was going to be this €9 million plan for these phone pouches. And what the Minister for Education at the time, Norma Foley, and she has subsequently said it now as the Children's Minister, is that she wanted to make schools this phone-free zone, that she wanted children to be able to be children again and start talking to each other and not be buried in the phone all the time. So the plan was that there would be these pouches that students would have to hand over at the beginning of the day. The school then would take them, and either they would take them or the kids would have them, but they'd be locked away. And they just wouldn't have access to it. A lot of the opposition then came out saying this is completely wasteful, this is not where it needs to be. Some schools were saying we do not have the capacity to be dealing with this right now. But the Department of Education continued. So today schools are going to be able to apply for €25 per student. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the pouches, it could be a storage box, it's other solutions. But the controversy that is coming out now is that if, for example, the schools buy a pouch for each student, if there's any money left over from that, the schools cannot use it for any other purpose other than phone storage. So any of that unused funding will have to be ring-fenced for replacement box storage or pouch storage. And we know at the moment schools are really struggling with the day-to-day costs. A lot of schools are arguing the capitation funding isn't high enough at the moment. I think there was a report from the Catholic Primary School Management Association there earlier in the week that said a record number of schools have applied for emergency funding from the Department of Education because they're struggling with the cost, the day-to-day running of the school. And if they're arguing that they can use this money for the day-to-day running, that's what they want it for, rather than for the pouches.
I have to say, I kind of admired the Minister in this situation. I know a lot of people will be very critical. This is €9 million. Schools are struggling with resources in other areas and want to use this money for other things. But the point of this in the budget is to try and safeguard children against mobile phone use. And they are being very firm on this. This funding is going to be ring-fenced for replacement technology in the future. And the government is saying basically that we are not going to allow kids to use phones in schools. We're seeing this happening in countries all over Europe. We're seeing it particularly also in New Zealand recently, and that they want to follow through on the policy. So I completely understand that people are going to be upset that this money isn't going to be used for other resources which are needed. But this is what it was. This is what the government said it was going to be for. Yeah, I know. It's an argument that's going to go round and round. I have been to events where Yonder is being used. You keep your own phone. For school children, they'd be able to put it in their bag. There's a device that opens the bag, will unlock the bag for the phone to be free once again. And I'm sure teachers are going to have to, well, they'll be losing 10 minutes from their break time to open up everybody's bag. Do you know who they're very popular with? Is stand-up comedians.
Yes, I've done it at a thing like that.
Yeah.
The only thing that gets me about it is the latest research has not shown that this helps in terms of mental health or better grades. So I would just be questioning, if there's no proof of it actually improving their lives in school, it's a lot of money to spend on it. We are out of time though. Tabitha and Simon, thank you so much for joining us this morning.